Hello, aspirants. Welcome to C4S, a mentorship platform which is specially designed to help banking aspirants ace major competitive exams like the NABARD, RBI, SEBI, SIDBI, EDI, and NICL. And today's session is all about the PFRDA descriptive English analysis, which was conducted on November 22 of the year 2022. Before moving on to the actual part, let's quickly give you an insight as to what is PFRDA. It is a statutory regulatory body which is established by the Government of India, and it operates under the Ministry of Finance, which is responsible for regulating and developing the pension sector in India. So this PFRDA, which is your Pension Fund Regulatory and Development Authority, generally revolves all around the pension sectors in India. So let's quickly get an insight as to what were the questions asked in the previous PFRDA exams, what were the marks allotment, the duration of and the question types, which will help you actually to move on for the next upcoming exams and prepare yourself to the best of the possible capability. Now, this English paper, as you all know, English is a very, very crucial aspect of any banking exams as compared to the other part like NABARD, RBI, SIDBI. So this holds a very important part, and scoring the best will obviously lead you to that stage of interview. So you need to have a very good grip on actually studying for this paper 1 of phase 1 and paper 1 of phase 2. Now, let me tell you in very short as to this English paper. It is the paper 1 of phase 1, which is the MCQs part, and it gives a negative marking. So you have to be very careful in answering the questions. The questions, 20 questions are asked with a marks allotment of 25, and a duration of total 60 minutes is given for the compared to it along with the other papers like GA and etc. The question types which was asked, like it was 5 RC questions, 5 closed test, 5 fillers, 4 error detection questions, and 1 sentence improvement. So the positive aspect, in fact, the best part of this English paper is that the questions are almost same. The question types are almost same as compared for the other banking exams. So students who are preparing for other exams, they can very well attempt this exam too, because the questions of this paper 1 is of the same format. Now, moving on to this phase 2 paper 1, which is the descriptive part. The descriptive is the best scoring part of any exams, English paper especially, because it carries no negative marking. The structure of the paper, the type of the questions asked is generally same. Like 3 questions are asked with a marks allotment of 100, and a duration of 60 minutes is given to complete that paper. The questions ranges from your essay to Pressy and an RC. The essay which was asked in that year was regarding very common topics like the effects of inflation on the poor and marginalized section of the society. Secondly, you had to highlight the pros and cons of trading and investing. Third was a very general topic like the rich cultural heritage of India. And fourth was regarding the awareness of importance of health. How can awareness on the importance of health be actually generated? So you can see it is very obvious that the descriptive questions, generally some are picked up regarding the actual paper, like it is regarding to the pension sector. So you need to have a good control as to on topics like annuity plans, then on various pension yojanas, the status of pension sector, types of retirement schemes, and the basics of investment, because it is the question, some questions are obviously to be asked from that part. Also, very general topics are picked up regarding the like general scenarios. So you have to be well aware regarding various sources. Keep updated with the sources like PIB, The Hindu, Mint, Economist, and Business Time, so that you are well versed with your content part. Now, actually moving on further, Pressy. Pressy is a very important part of also of descriptive paper. 30 marks question comes for Pressy, wherein you have to actually summarize the whole of Pressy in 1/3 of the original passage. Don't at all forget in mentioning title. Means title is a very important part of a Pressy. So you need to actually never let yourself lose marks in just ignoring the title. Passage on increasing cyber crime in India post-COVID. a very general topic was asked regarding, because that was the scenario. The COVID was just over, so you had to the passage was picked up, and then you have to concise that passage to one third of the original passage. Nextly, we had the RC, which was of 5 questions of 40 marks. The passage on decreasing female employment in Indian economy. It is very, very common that regarding female employment, women entrepreneurs, is a very common question to be asked in any banking descriptive exam. So keep yourself updated with such topics so as to get a very good score. Now, moving on, what is actually the pattern of exams and what is the word limit and how you need to attempt through which mode? Let's quickly get into an insight. Now, this exam, like the descriptive paper, this is a paper one of your phase two. It is an online mode wherein you have to use keyboard. So you have to be well accustomed to the keyboard part. Generally, the difficulty in that is generally whenever you are writing a word, keep in mind that don't press the enter key twice, because pressing the enter key twice generally freezes the keys for some time. So just this little care has to be taken while attempting questions in the online mode. As it is a general English descriptive paper, 60 minutes are allotted. So you have to complete your 3 questions within that allotted time. Secondly, this is the cutoff. Next, we are coming to the cutoff. What is the actual stream-wise and category-wise cutoffs on the objective and descriptive part? It is mentioned over here. This has been taken from the official website, so you need not just ignore this part, because cutoff are actually the minimum qualifying points or the marks which the students have to obtain for himself or herself to move on to the next exam. So you can see this is the general stream-wise cutoff ranging from general, legal to finance, accounts to the IT part, and the category-wise cutoff of paper one. Like for English descriptive part, you can see out of 100, the cutoffs are given below. Secondly, moving on, you have cutoff for phase two also for descriptive paper. Always keep in mind the cutoffs. Be aware of the cutoff, because cutoffs are very, very important for you to actually know how much minimum marks you need to get so as to qualify for the next exams. This is for phase two, and this is for the descriptive English part. Out of 100, the cutoffs has been mentioned over here of different categories. Okay. Now, there's also model answers which have been taken up for your convenience, which will help you to have a better idea of the topic, and you can write accordingly as per your need with number of points plus minus according to your information content. Now, as if the first question that was asked in that exam was to discuss the effects of inflation on the poor and marginalized section of the society. Now, this, what we have to say, you have to actually write over there the inflation, that it has devastating effects on both, and especially on the poor and marginalized groups, because in India, globally, this group is the major group which is present in India. And this inflation, nearly half of them, they experience food inflation, about 5% in 2024. Also, according to the UN's global report on food crisis, shocks like inflation and currency devaluation has pushed around 59 million additional people into food crisis in 2024. So this is, this is a very general impact of this inflation on this poor sections of the society. Also, you need to mention that this inflation has just robbed off the poor of the basic food necessities like pulses, vegetables. Even it has nearly 50% over 7 years, where real wages actually rose to just 22%. Even the school meal programs have to be cut back on nutritional ingredients. Also, poorer households face more volatile price levels, and they even lacked access to basic financial tools because of this inflation. Not only that, they also reduced dietary diversity, their malnutrition worsened, even their healthcare was skipped, and the education had to be stopped. So this inflation impact has just brought the whole of poor society into a deep pit, which was making them as an extra burden. So this you can generalize it and then summarize it that this inflation acted as a regressive force, shrinking real incomes, deepening hunger, eroding social mobility, and widening the existing disparities. Now, moving on to the next topic, which was asked about trading vs investing, the pros and cons, which you had to mention as if that there are two fundamental approaches which are participating in the financial market. So you have to first mention the pros of like trading. What are the positives of it? It aims on capitalizing on short-term market fluctuations. Also, they are the potential for quick returns. Similarly, on that basis, also you have to say about investing that it is a long-term wealth creation and actually it benefits for capital appreciation and has the power of compounding. Secondly, you have to also mention the cons, which states that it requires constant monitoring, quick decision making, and strong emotional control compared to investing, which is the downside is that returns are slow and may take years to materialize. So in conclusion, you can say that trading is best suited for those with market expertise and high risk tolerance, while investing is ideal for those seeking stable long term growth. You can give it a comparative basis of trading vs investing, mentioning both the pros and cons of it. Now, moving to the topic third, which was the whole of a very simple, rich cultural heritage of India, which everyone is generally aware of. We know we live in that country which has a rich cultural heritage, and it is one of the oldest and most diverse in the world, which reflects the richness of its history, traditions, languages, art, and even spiritual philosophies. And its civilization is rooted, which dates back around 5,000 years. So you can mention the architectural marvels like temples of Khajuraho, the forts of Rajasthan, classical art forms, the heritage, which reveals this sense of aesthetics, devotion, and identity. Similarly, India is a rich in terms of regional literatures like Tamil, Urdu, Bengali, and also reflects the philosophical depth and emotional richness also. Not only that, it is the birthplace of major religions, including Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, Sikhism, and even its spiritual and philosophical ideas like yoga, Ayurveda, and non-violence is well aware in other parts of the world, which has gained global recognition. Also, festivals which connects each one of us like Diwali, Eid, Holi, Christmas, Baisakhi, they are celebrated with immense joy and community spirit, which overall symbolizes India's unity in diversity. So you can say that through conservation efforts, education, and global outreach, this cultural fabric of India continues to be preserved and celebrated. And we, as proud Indians, should take this rich cultural heritage of India in the coming years to a never ending part. Okay, for generations and generations should always cherish this cultural heritage. The fourth topic was awareness on the importance of health. As you all know, in today's generation, where health is just a neglected part, but it is also a true saying that health is wealth. So you have to focus on that, that it is the foundation of productive and fulfilling life. Yet millions remain unaware of this significance unless and until a calamity or an illness strikes. So you have in this topic, as it was the awareness on importance of health, the positives of health should only be mentioned like nutrition, hygiene, physical fitness, and mental health should always be integrated into our lives as well as into the curriculum to ensure holistic understanding. Now, this benefits of health like regular exercise, healthy living, preventive checkups, and mental well-being can influence a public perception and behavior. Similarly, government should can also promote health schemes like Ayushman Bharat, Poshan Abhiyan, and Fit India movement using both digital and offline channels, which will bridge the awareness gap in between among the individuals. Collaboration also with the influencers, celebrities, and community leaders can amplify the message, making health a public priority. So, this awareness can be created in this perspective. In short, spreading health awareness, it requires a sustained multi-pronged effort involving education, policy, media, and community action to inspire people to make more informed, healthier choices in their daily lives. So this fodder material was just provided to you for your better understanding as to what points could be mentioned on topics like these. Okay, now actually PYQs give an idea as to what were the question types and how you need to generally prepare for the upcoming exams, shows you the difficulty level and gives you a inner confidence so that you can prepare yourself for the upcoming exams. As you all know, the phase 1 exams are going to be conducted on 6th of September 2025, and the phase 2 exams is just 1 month after that on 6th October 2025. So you have to prepare to the best so that you can get a very good score. Now, what are the general tips for preparation? Now, for objective test, you have to have a very good hold on the vocabulary part as well as on the grammar part. Questions like close test, sentence error, error detection, parajumbles, fill in the blanks, then there's synonyms, antonyms. Everything has to be studied right under this part so that you can score almost 20 marks in that examination. Secondly, when we come to the descriptive part requires you to get a very good hold on the drafting skills, because this part actually assess a candidate's ability to draft well structured and grammatically correct sentences. That's why you need to practice descriptive writing. You need to draft essays, letters, and other forms of written communication to overall improve your drafting skills, because content is not at all taken into consideration to that extent how much your technical part is. Secondly, strengthen your vocabulary and grammar, which is very, very important on the descriptive aspect. Enhance it to the best through regular reading and practice exercises. Keep yourself updated through different sources like PIB, Hindu, Mint, Economic, Business Line, and make reading and writing a regular practice. Secondly, stay updated on current affairs, as I've mentioned, with the latest newspapers and developments in the pension sector, finance, and economics. Now, when I mention the pension sector, it means you need to be well updated with the annuity plans. Then you have Atal Pension Yojana. You also need to know the status of pension sector in India. There are types of retirement schemes, the national pension system, and the basics of investment. All such topics should be very, very well accumulated and studied by you so that you can actually write the content if such type of questions are asked in the descriptive paper. Very, very important. Refer to the previous year papers, because analyzing the previous year papers helps you actually to understand the exam pattern, the question types, and the difficulty level. Second and third, last but not the least, utilize mock test. Take mock test to simulate the actual exam environment and assess your preparation level. So that was all for today's sessions. I hope this session is informative for you and it will help you prepare for the upcoming exams. Stay rooted to this channel for more information and website. You can even avail this opportunity of joining this channel and get a better clearance of this PFRDA exams. You have our website on c4scourses@gmail.com. Also, you can log into our Telegram channel for more information and an insight view. Till then, keep preparing and never lose hope. Give yourself a best. Nothing is impossible. Even the word impossible says, I am possible. So all the best for the upcoming exams. Take care. Have a good day. Thank you.